From the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, this is an ITTV special report.
Our next guest knows radio, and specifically HD radio. Always a pleasure. It's kind of our annual catch-up and update from our next guest, who's president and CEO of iBiquity HD radio, Bob Strubel. Hey, Bob, welcome back into Tomorrow. Glad to have you, as always.
Dave, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
You guys are constantly growing, which is a great sign. And, of course, it's radio as we know and love it, because we're all about AM, FM, and HD.
That's right.
Where we have several affiliates as well now carrying into Tomorrow on HD channels, becoming increasingly popular, and it's all because of the efforts of your team and of course, our AM, FM stations around the country.
Well, we get a lot of help from broadcasters, and we get a lot of help from automakers, and we get a lot of help from retailers and consumer electronics manufacturers. So this is it's a big show, and I think you got it right. The story this year, again, is just more stations, more diverse content, more automakers offering the technology, and more new features. So we are plugging away and making some great progress.
And I imagine it's not a very hard sell to automakers. I mean, as you know, we spoke earlier with the Ford CEO, Alan Mulally, and he's very dedicated to making sure HD radio is part of their dash as well, and all the Ford vehicles. And when manufacturers realize that it's giving their customers more choices for great quality, if I may, AM sounds more like FM, FM sounds more like CD quality. It's there, the sound is great, and the options for hearing more of what you want to hear are available.
They're available, and really we've hit critical mass on the auto side with announcement this week. Ford, you mentioned the headline last year at CES was Ford introducing the technology. The headline this year is Toyota. Another small little automaker is going to
you may have heard of them.
HD radio technology in their car. So we're up to, Dave, now 17 publicly announced automakers. By the end of 2011, we're happy to say that'll be more than 20 on 100 different vehicle lines, and of those, half are going to be standard equipment. So the auto side, people listen to music, listen to talk, listen to radio in their cars, and HD radio is going to be right in the middle of it, and we're darn excited about that.
One of the things, Bob, that you and your team talk about is the artist experience.
Yes.
Tell us more about that and how it becomes an experience for us as consumers.
Well, one of the things we're dedicated to doing, Dave, is increasing innovation around the technology. So every year we try to add new things that are important for radio listeners. The big one this year is something called Artist Experience, as you mentioned. This is the ability for stations to broadcast images and have them displayed on the radio screen. And what might that be? Well, the obvious one is album art. You know, when you're looking at your iPod or listening to Rhapsody or listening to Pandora, you're seeing the album art. We need to have that on AM and FM as well. We now have that capability. It's available on portable radios from Best Buy. We've got JVC aftermarket radios, and as well a Volkswagen Jetta in our booth with Artist Experience. So you'll see that OEM auto implementation this year. And that could be album art, but that could be a lot of other things too. It could be station branding for those in the radio industry who want to make some money. That can also be advertising. So when I'm playing the ad for Geico, I should be seeing a picture of a little lizard on the radio screen. And our belief is radio broadcasters will be able to monetize that. So we're trying to help increase the health of the industry.
Oh, sure. And what a great concept. And yet it's not being distracting while you're driving because it's just maybe a logo or, in this case, album art. You want to, I want to get that CD. So it's helping everybody in the long run to identify what they're listening to and perhaps purchase it in the near future.
That's right, and purchase it again. We see more and more devices with iTunes tagging. It's a feature we introduced with Apple, but exactly as you say, if I'm driving my Ford Fusion and I hear the song that I like on an HD radio station, I've got a little touchscreen button that says tag, and I press that, and then information is captured, and the next time I go to iTunes, I'm going to find a little folder that says tagged, and all those songs that I have been telling myself I want to buy, and they're going to be there for me, and I can preview and purchase. So bringing interactivity as well to AM and FM radio is something that we all know digital consumers are wanting.
And one thing we didn't have a chance really to talk about yet, and that is the manufacturers of a plethora now of HD radios. You and I spoke originally where there was one or two items, and boy, that was it, and here's the start, and imagine. And now I can't even keep track of how many manufacturers and products.
It's more than 100 different products out there, 60 different manufacturers, and we're talking all form factors. Of course, in addition to OEM automotive, there's the high-end AV receivers for the home, Onkyo, Yamaha, Marantz, Denon, aftermarket car radios, JVC, Clarion, Pioneer, Sony, and down to clock radios, boom boxes, iPod docks, iPad docks now coming out, all the way down to portables. We've got a second generation, really beautiful little piece in Insignia armband radio that you'd use for jogging around, and this one has artist experience. Another neat feature called Live Pause, where if I want to press that button and I got to go pump gas, but I don't want to miss a word of what Dave is saying on Into Tomorrow. I press that pause button, I'll come back and I'll pick up the programming exactly where I left off. So
really? So it's holding, it's kind of a radio TiVo.
TiVo for radio, exactly right. Exactly right.
Love it. Well, what has you, in addition, most pumped into tomorrow about HD radio? What's maybe just on the cutting edge that you can share with us?
You're gonna see, we believe, and this is important, radio now becoming part of the connected world. It's very clear that if you look into cars, you're going to have a variety of different technologies in the dash. So in addition to HD radio, I will have satellite radio, I will have iPod connectivity, I will have Bluetooth, I will have Wi-Fi, I'll have Pandora. All those things come together, which in some aspects might be viewed as competitive for radio, and that's certainly true, and radio's got to innovate, but we view it as an opportunity because with that connected device, when I want to buy something, a commercial that I hear on the radio, I might want to buy that device. Well, I've got a back channel, I've got a connection, I can click on a button on the radio and get back to a website, get back to a service center, what have you. So the opportunity to bring radio into the connected world we think is quite important, and you'll be seeing a little bit more of that. A little bit further out there, but we always innovate, and we'll have some stuff to talk about in a little bit.
And how cool is that? I mean, the ability, I think we've all had that opportunity. It's like, if I only could write something down, but I'm in the middle of driving, push a button.
That's right.
Get that info later.
That's right. We got a feature in these new radios called Bookmark. It's exactly that. I bookmark, and I come back later on, and there it is. Whatever I was thinking about or listening to or wanting to research more is going to be there for me on the radio. So we're dragging the industry into the 21st century, kicking and screaming, Dave.
And they're loving it, though. There's a lot of opportunity. HDRadio.com for more. Bob Strubel, the president and CEO of iBiquity, HD Radio. They are the developers of all this technology that's happening. Thank you for joining us again. Keep up the good work. And, man, every time we talk, there's more manufacturers, more products, more cars, more everything. It's a good sign.
We're trying, and we're very excited about the progress.